Hey, welcome to treatment planning with me, Dr. Roush. I'm imagining most of you had me for diagnosis, so I feel really confident about this. Even though it's online, which is not my favorite, I do know that we can make this as effective as possible. And really, it's an extension of diagnosis. So if you felt like I couldn't tell you most of the things from the DSM, that's fine. You shouldn't be able to. We are going to take care of all that here. So if you're like, a lot of this is a repeat of what we did in diagnosis, 100%. We're here to solidify it. Diagnosis tells you, here's how to assess and look for it. Treatment planning says, make sure you assess, make sure you're thinking about all these things and looking for these things. And then here's how we develop a treatment plan for these folks with their strengths in mind, because we are a strengths-focused group, a strengths-focused program. Every week, I will upload a PowerPoint with all the notes that you need for that week and a 5-minute or less video, because nobody has time for that. Just kind of like recapping the highlights. And then I'll also do videos which go over some common questions, some common things that people have about the paper, the next paper that would be coming up. Okay, so as always, you can always text me, call me, email me. I am more than happy to answer those questions. But if you want some extra clarification, just watch those videos. I'll make them short, sweet, and efficient. Okay, so today is a short, sweet, efficient video that just goes over the syllabus. Everything you need will always be in D2L. If I have forgotten something or if you need something else, just let me know. I'm more than happy to put it in there, okay? So this is in there. Really all you need to know is that I am always available to you. If you come by my office, probably not. I'm more than happy to meet with you in my office. Just let me know ahead of time. Otherwise, you can always text me, call me, email me. I am pretty responsive from say 5:30 a.m. till say 9 p.m. Okay. And then from 9 to 5, no, not so much, but I will jump on it right away. Okay. Okay, so as we go through, again, if there's any questions you have, if there's anything I don't cover well, just let me know. I will do that. In this class, you have 4 total projects, okay? And in this class, it's a little bit more fun because I want you to try different ways of planning for somebody. So we do a lot of creative stuff. We do strengths-based stuff. It really is the first assignment starts you off. The second assignment builds on that assignment. The third assignment builds on that. And then by the 4th assignment, you should have practiced all of these pieces and now you're gonna put it together, okay? So it's very practice-based. We are practicing. It is no busy work, 0. It is all stuff that's gonna help you in the future, okay? That's what I value. Okay, so the first assignment, we'll go over it here briefly, but please know that you will have the video that goes over more pieces, exactly what I'm looking for, okay? I will do the 24-hour or the 72 hours, is that right? 72-hour edit. So 3 days before the paper is due, I will give you 10 minutes of edit. So I still will do that. Just email that to me, not in a PDF, in a Word doc, okay? And not a Google Online document either, okay? So the first one, you're gonna use the Crescent Palo text. There are 2 versions of this, and unfortunately, students have borrowed both my versions, and I never got them back. So I don't have them to switch the page numbers on them. So you may have a book that has the correct page numbers, you may have the book that doesn't have the correct page numbers, but the chapters are all the same. She keeps them the same. So there is an appendix generally in the first chapter. If you have the very first book that she put out, the first edition, it'll be pages 31 through 35 and then 36 through 38. For other folks, it's going to be something different, but you'll look for a list of questions that go over things like folks' preferences of treatment, understanding the problem, the family of origin, the community and cultural strengths, etc. Okay? So you're going to pick a peer, not someone in the program. Okay? A friend or a family member, I don't care about that, just not somebody in the program. And you're going to take a minimum of 4 questions from each of the headings from the first appendix. So those are from the headings: individual strengths, family of origin strengths, community and cultural strengths, and spiritual strengths. And you're going to interview someone. When you type it up, I do not want it to be question 1, blah, 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 answer, blah, blah, blah. That's boring. No one wants to think like that. So think about when you write it saying, oh, I interviewed Shantae. And Shantae, so Shantae was telling me that her community and cultural strengths were that she has a lot of friends and that she's into her Greek life and she has great neighbors and lives in a great neighborhood and she has a church that she really loves and she is in lots of groups and she has some hobbies, etc. Cool. So tell me that in a way that's like, Shantae is very well-rounded. Shantae currently has a wide range of support, including her neighborhood, which feels safe to her, and her neighbors, whom she hangs out with regularly, a spiritual support through her church, etc. Okay, so you're writing it up like a narrative. You're as if you were like, hey, Dr. Gauch, here's Shantae. Let me tell you all the great things she has going for her. That's how you're going to write it up, okay? If you want to do more than 4 questions, that's fine. It's not extra points. It's just if you need to kind of add some stuff to your paper, okay? So 4 questions out of 1, 2, 3, 4 headings. That's 16 questions you're asking them. And I promise you, they're not going to be bored answering questions about themselves. People love this. So don't hurry it. Let them talk about their stuff and ask additional questions. If you're like, ooh, tell me more about that. Cool. This is the time to practice it. You are not recording this. You're just asking. Then you do 4 questions from getting to the client's cultural background, 7 from understanding the problem, all of the questions from barriers to treatment and the treatment sections, and 3 from preferences of treatment and type of working relationship, and interview that same person. So you can do it all in one sitting. You can do it in 2. It's up to you. It's an 8-page minimum, and there's no references required on that. Okay, so that's going to be the first one coming up, and that comes up, let's see. 219. So it's about 5 weeks into the semester, 6 weeks into the semester. So start on that. You can start on that right away because you don't really require any sort of learning from this class to do that. Okay, so start on that. Then you have a creative toolbox activity, which we'll talk about later, but where you can use the same friend or you can use somebody else. Sometimes people like to use a kiddo or a parent, grandparent, uncle, neighbor, whatever. It doesn't matter, but you're going to do a creative toolbox activity within the book. If you go through each chapter, there's creative toolbox activities throughout. Your person does not have to be diagnosed with any of the diagnoses that are prevalent in that chapter. You just are trying it out, okay? We'll talk about that later. You do an I Can Start paper you'll see throughout the book. Please read through those I Can Starts just so that you it becomes a habit for you, thinking about how am I the same as this person? How am I different than this person? What do they have going on in their life? All that stuff, okay? So then you'll do that for the person that you interviewed the first time, okay? So you don't need them again, you're just writing it up. And then the final one, you take these things, you take strengths-based thoughts and asking questions and searching for answers. Then you think about creative and what that explores. And then you think about I Can Start. And then you put it all into an I Can Start case study over a movie. Okay? We'll talk about that later. You have 3 textbooks. One, the Kress and Palo, treating those with mental disorders. You can do the 2nd edition or the 1st. Doesn't matter. There's no 3rd. We're working on that now. The APA manual, which you should already have. The Preston and Johnson clinical psychopharmacotherapy or psychopharmacology made ridiculously simple. That can be 9th edition, 10th, 11th, doesn't matter. The newer one is better because of the medicines in it, but you'll love, that'll be your favorite textbook ever because it's so sweet and simple. Any other material will be on D2L. If you need your DSM, you should already have that from diagnosis, so you can refer to that too, okay? But Kress and Palo do a great job covering that in the textbook. Okay, so again, we are never meeting via Zoom unless you need to, like for some question about the class, but we will never hold class on there. There are never going to be quizzes on your reading. You are not graded on discussion posts. You are not posting anything on discussion. I don't find that super effective, and so we're not doing that, okay? If something pops up that would be helpful for me to include in the course on D2L, no problem. Let me know. I'll do it. We do not have class on February 5th. I will be out of the country, and so you're just going to work on the paper. You're welcome. Okay, other than that, you kind of go through and you got a paper due once a month until we get to April, and then you have one due the 1st and then one due the 29th, so 28 days apart. So you can get started on that first paper now if you want, before stuff starts to hit. You can even get started on the creative toolbox. You can get started on really any of it. So you can really piece this together as you get going and you find pockets of time. I know you're a master's student. You feel like you have no time to do anything but this. However, let me know. There is no attendance. I'm not gonna take attendance. I'm not gonna look if you watched videos. If you constantly email me questions that I've answered in the videos, and I can see that you didn't watch them, I might suggest that, but you know, you do you, we'll figure it out, okay? Let's see, don't plagiarize anything. It's almost impossible to plagiarize the first 3 papers, so don't worry about that. But then that final one, let's just not. Let me know if you need extra time and we will figure something out. If you want help writing your paper and you need to do a sit down or something, we can do that, okay? If you have any sort of testing or disability needs, let me know. There are no tests, no quizzes, but if you have any accommodations that you'd like, please let me know. No problem. I will always try and caption my videos. I think that that's helpful. And they'll always be on YouTube just because I have a channel there, and I feel like that's the most, you can go on there whenever you'd like, but the link will always be in D2L. So let me know, no problem. Diversity, inclusion, and respect, that's my thing. If you feel like something is not respectful, please let me know. I will never use my power as a professor against you. We are all going to learn and grow and be respectful of each other in this class. If you have wellness needs, if you would like to use your free counseling services, please do. You might go and be like, oh my gosh, they're so strengths-based. They're asking about what I have going for me. I love that. Student safety, we don't have to worry about because you're not walking out of class at night. Writing support, the Augusta University Center for Writing Excellence is amazing. And they know all of my assignments. I train them for that. So go ask them. They're totally great. You can email it to them. They'll email it back within 24 hours. You can go meet with them. You can do a Zoom meeting, whatever you need, okay? But make sure you tell me you're a master's level student. Also, if you email it to me 72 hours before the due date, with the exception of the final paper, I don't do edits on those, I'll give you 10 minutes of feedback on that, okay? That's it. I am so excited. I love treatment planning. I do. I think that it's so great to look at a person from a holistic perspective and say, what great things do you have going for you that maybe you have forgotten or you don't recognize? And I'm going to share those with you. And I am here to collaborate and support you and cheer with you as we figure this stuff out. It is not easy to go to counseling, but if you have somebody there who is like championing you, I should pick a different word. It makes it so much easier. And that's what we are. We are here to champion mental health, to reduce the stigma, to help people through their stuff, and to teach them ways to help themselves in the future so they don't need us anymore. Welcome to class. Let me know how I can be helpful to you. I can't wait to get started on this semester. Come on in, read the book, interview a friend. Let's get going.